Good morning, everybody. What is up?
Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us here on Hillside Live, along with Zach Garner. We are at a Hot Springs Off-Road Park for the Southern Rock Racing Series round number 1, our 4th race of the season, first Southern race.
Yes.
This weekend brought to us by SCS Gearbox. It's a beautiful sunny day here at Hot Springs, and we are ready to kick off a full day of racing, starting with our youth class. We have a ton of entries in this class, and they are ready to rock and roll. They've been sitting on the starting line. I'm sure they're anxious to get out there. So we don't want to keep them waiting too long. I think we've got Ava Garner. Speaking of Zach Garner being in here.
All right, production ready. I'm on the start line.
So, Zach, correct me if I'm wrong. This is Ava's first race? First race ever. She just got this 200 yesterday? Yep.
0.7
miles on it. Wow. She had the seat time equivalent of riding it over from the campsite.
And she's off.
Let's see how she does. Does she have that
there we go.
That Garner blood?
Oh, I think she will.
We know Zach can drive.
Yes. Splash the little puddle there.
Now, these moguls looked pretty big yesterday watching the regular UTVs go through here. Watching the little 200s and 170s. They
look a little bigger.
They get a little bigger.
Look a little bigger, actually.
We're glad to have you guys joining us today. Thanks for watching Hillside Live with Matt and Bree here on Rock Racing TV.
Woo-woo.
Ava Garner is starting off our entire day of racing here. We've got the youth class, and then we'll have our UTV bounty, followed by the big bouncers. Then we'll come back and do it all again for round 2. And then we've also got our 2 classes of RC racing that will be happening after that.
Tons of racing action going on today. Again, there was you can see a handful of dads out there. Justin Wills, some of the holdbacks out there, all coaching them along. All the dads kind of coach all the kids. They
73.185 for Ava. Her very first race ever now under her belt. She's a seasoned competitor.
She is.
But, yeah, like Matt was saying, there's a lot of dads out on the course. And want to make sure that everyone knows where they're supposed to go once they're out there. And this course is a little twisty, a little winding out there.
Kind of back and forth a couple times.
It's fun to see all the dads scattered at different points and, point in the right direction, waving them on.
Yeah, it's definitely super cool to see a lot of the dads down there for all the racers. Or racettes, I guess you call them. Racers and racettes. Down there, I think we have girls outnumber the boys in this class, like 2 to 1.
We had a whole lot of late entries, and I think they were all female. All right, is this Eva? Eva Coots. All right, I'm not sure if Eva has raced before. I think that she has, maybe at Mid-America.
I think she has 4. I think there's 2 of the Kuntz girls will be racing with us. Wow.
Whoa,
bounce
look at her
it
go.
Through there.
She drives like her daddy.
Definitely does. Again, there's her dad down there.
What's up, Greg Meadows?
Adam cheering her on.
Taylor, Elizabeth, Nick. Thanks for watching, everybody. Jed, where are you guys watching from? And do you have beautiful sunny weather like we're enjoying right now? Woo! 5'8.673 for Eva Coots. Not bad, not bad. If this is your first time joining us for the season, you might have missed some of the details, but our youth class is new for this year, and man, it's been a lot of fun to watch, and I think it's been a lot of fun for our young racers that a lot of them, their first time ever racing coming out here. Not first time for all of them. We have a couple, a little more seasoned young drivers out here. Yes, Taylor. and it's grown a lot. I think this is our biggest youth class ever, or at least
so.
as big as Wildcat was. So that's super fun to see, and hopefully we'll just continue to grow it for the rest of the season.
Yes.
This is Abigail Detmer out on the course now. And if you've got a young driver that you think would like to come out here and compete as well, you can always go to the website, nationalrockracing.com, and find all the information that you need on there, as well as the schedule of events for the rest of the season, and hopefully be able to make it on out here. All right, Abigail's got a nice run going. Straight on to the finish line.
Heck
there it
yeah.
is. Woo, 50.901. That is your current fastest time right now for our youth class. Thanks for joining us here on Hillside Live. We're at Hot Springs Off-Road Park. First time here for a series race in 8 years.
Wow.
You might recognize its previous name, Superlift, from back in those days.
And again, that's funny when you say 8 years. We haven't been here in 8 years. Some of our drivers in our youth class aren't even that old.
Yeah.
You know,
That puts it into perspective.
we have a handful of drivers that are in that 6 to 8 year old range. So it's kind of amusing when I hear you say we haven't been here in 8 years. Like, that's how old some of our drivers are.
That makes me feel old, that's for sure.
You said this was the first race you ever raced the Avenger?
Well, Backdoor Shootout for King of the Hammers was technically, I think, the first thing we ever took it to. But this was definitely maybe the second or third. I can't quite remember. But it was pretty much brand new. It was the first real, beat down for the East versus West shootout back in the day.
Got Tinsley Hoback on the line here. Part of that Hoback family. They were doing, Nick was doing the following the highway to the hill. So that'll be exciting to watch.
Justin Hoback is the current, what's the word? Star of this Highway to the Hill episode. So you guys will be able to get a little sneak peek into what a race weekend is like for the Hoback family. This is Tinsley Hoback, Colton's daughter. And then we've got Clara Hoback will also be racing. That's Justin's daughter. So the girls, there's a playground here at the park, and really that's what they were concerned about.
That's funny.
After getting a little seat time and practicing last night. This is Tinsley's first race.
Aw.
They were eager to go back and get on the swing, so they drove pretty quickly from here back to the campground.
Oh, clipped a flag there.
Who put that flag there? Colton, come on now. That's her dad, Colton, right there, helping her out.
She has a really cute purple, black with purple race suit.
It is super cute.
And her cousin, who's sitting next to her, had a pink race suit on. So I was like, pink and purple. That's just kind of reminded me of Justin Wills' colors.
So Tinsley, like I said, this is her first race. And you know what? This can be kind of scary.
It can be.
When you're, 6 years old and you've never driven anything like this, and you know all these people are watching. So hats off to all these kiddos for coming out here and
got Jay Storts
being able
up there.
to get in the driver's seat and give it a go.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Well, she's got her dad Colton there in the green vest, and then Jay Storts is up ahead, ready to direct her around the curve.
Helping again, we talked about having a bunch of those dads and granddads helping coach them all along, cheering them all on. So it's absolutely so much fun to watch these guys. And the thing that I love about the UTV youth class, I think that it just means so much, is you get to see they truly love the sport because their heart is in it, not for winning or they're not here for the pride and the glory. They're just here because it's fun.
Because it's fun.
It's fun, and it's just.
I hope it's fun for them anyway.
It's super cute to see them get out there and race, and I think that's one reason I love watching this class so much.
There we go. We got Daniel Heckley out there on the corner. It's when you come out here and race as an adult, it can be intimidating.
Zach out there.
So to come out here as a 6-year-old that's never done something like this, I think that's pretty cool.
Some of our youth drivers, some of our stock and Unlimited Cup Series side-by-side drivers were saying how kind of intimidating this course looks today. So it's interesting to see how I'm sure interesting to see that how an 6 to 8 year old child would be a little intimidated by it.
And hey, you got to start somewhere though. These are some future
Yes.
series racers that we're watching right here, I bet, guys. Give them about 10 years. They're going to be in that unlimited class. We'll see what happens. Eddie says it's snowing in western North Carolina.
Wow.
Ooh. Well, you know what? It was actually pretty chilly here yesterday. This sun today feels amazing. We are very grateful for it.
Tinley getting her finish there.
All right, let's see what her time was. 187.151. Awesome job for Tinsley being able to complete that course on her very first time out. A lot of first-time drivers today. They're doing an excellent job. And the Hoback family has come out in full force. I traveled with the Hobacks in their RV. They've been very generous this season and let me ride with them and stay with them. And they had all the grandparents and aunt and uncle and cousin, and like the whole Hoback crew started rolling in last night, and we had a fun time cooking out and just hanging out around the fire.
Around the campfire last night? Okay, there's like 30 people at the Hobacks camp last night.
So there's it's fun to have them all out here. I think it's all of their first time coming to a race. You know, they watched the show and they recognized Matt's voice when he came and hung out at the fire last night. So,
like, I know that voice.
So Clara and Tinsley have a nice cheering section this weekend.
That's awesome.
And Justin, of course, raced the stock class yesterday in the 4-seater, Big Bertha.
And took third.
And got third place.
Yeah.
So good weekend for the Hobacks. All right, Carly Detmar out on the course now. I believe that's Detmer as well. M-E-R. So we had 3 Detmers on the list today. I'm not sure how they range in ages, which one is the older and younger.
And again, all 3 are girls. Abigail, Anna, and Carly are all racing today.
Apparently, it is the day for cousins and siblings.
Yes, I'll say we had at Wildcat, we had 3 of them that we got to interview that were all racing that were cousins, and that was super cool.
The Havens.
Super neat.
We've got, hey, what's up, Bebo? Bebo says this is such an awesome class for these kiddos. It is. I hope they're all having a blast out here, and I know we're having fun watching. 5.7.648. That was a great run from Carly. So Abigail Detmer has the fastest time right now of a 50.9. And then Carly Detmer just put down a 57. And Eva Coots has a 58. Those are your top 3 right now in the youth class. And it looks like we've got Brody Pierman on the line now. If you're just joining us, guys, you are watching Hillside Live with Matt and Bree here on Rock Racing TV. And we are at Hot Springs Off-Road Park for the Southern Rock Racing Series, round number 1.
Yeah.
It's our 4th race overall for the season so far, but our first Southern race. If you're keeping track of our regional series, you are watching the UTV youth class right now. We're about halfway through. This is Brody Pierman out on the course. And this weekend is brought to us by SCS Gearbox. So huge shout out and thanks to the fine folks there and all of our sponsors that help make these events happen. There's a whole lot that goes on behind the scenes
a ton.
To make a weekend like this a possibility.
Yes.
So thank you to everybody that helps out, from sponsors to our recovery volunteers, media, all of our drivers that are so committed and put so much time and energy into the sport. Everybody that helps make it what it is. Thank you, thank you. Man, Brody is just tearing up the course out there. Look at him go.
Quick time.
61.012, not bad. You know what? I think that Brody might be our only young fella racer out here today.
Yeah,
And
maybe.
I'm not sure if Brantley Havens is on my list, but I'm not sure if he's here. I didn't see him at the drivers' meeting. We will find out. All right, this is Anna J. Detmer, our third and final Detmer on the list.
Third and final.
The other Detmer young ladies both put down some really fast times. Abigail has the fastest right now with a 50, and then Carly with a 57. Anna J. looks like she's pretty comfortable out there, too.
Wow.
Look at her go.
Bouncing through that section, that rad flow suspension section.
Again, if you guys have a young racer in your life, in your family, or whatever that you think would enjoy this, head to nationalrockracing.com. You can find all the information and rules, requirements, whatever you need to know to come out and be part, as well as the calendar of events for the rest of the season. We are about to have a rather long break. I'm not sure how I feel about it, Matt.
I'm so thankful.
I'm
so glad.
Matt's been running a little ragged lately.
Yeah.
49.304. That's your new fastest time from Anna J. Detmer. 49, then followed by Abigail with a 50 and Carly with a 57. These girls know what they're doing.
They are flying through this course. Again, 49. That's moving.
They came on a mission. All right, we do have Brantley Havens here. Brantley's been racing with us several times already this season. Glad to see him back.
He's usually a very quick driver as well.
He is.
He is not afraid to put that pedal down.
Going to be some good competition for the Detmer ladies.
We'll see how he does today.
All right, guys, we've got a handful of drivers left in our youth class right now, and then we'll be moving into UTV Bounty. Got a nice lineup there. We actually had, I think, 4 late entries this morning.
Wow.
They all,
Ooh. Oh, man.
Oh, no. Well,
try to jam it in gear too fast, and, man, that stinks.
You know what? I've heard that sound a time or two.
Yeah.
Big Booty Judy does not like going over jumps and will often come out of gear. So
yeah.
I'm well familiar with that sound.
Man, I think he missed the section. I think he was supposed to come back through the
Oh, man. Hate
rad
to
flow
see that for
suspension.
Brantley.
I think they're going to try to reroute him so he can still get his point. I think they're going to try to steer him back so he can still get a finish out of it.
Yeah, Brantley's been racing with us. Has he made it to all 3 this season?
I don't know.
Previous? He's definitely been to a couple of them,
Yes.
and we want him to be able to get some points while he's out here. So they got him turned back around. We're going to get him going the right way and make sure he gets a finish out of it.
There you go.
Zach
Daniel.
Zach giving some helpful encouragement on the microphone out there.
That's it. Daniel's out there helping coax him around the corner. Him and Jay Storch are down there in that corner.
You know, we talk all the time about the camaraderie out here and how, yes, there's a whole lot of competition, but it's also just a lot of fun and a lot of people helping each other out. And absolutely goes the same, if not more, for the youth class. All the dads and helpers out here want to see the kids finish and do
it's
their
so
best
much fun.
And feel good about it. And you know what? That carries over to the adults when they're racing too. How many times has someone swapped out parts?
Yeah.
Oh, look at that featured stick right there. We're going to have to put that in the credits. But it is very commonplace. Happens every single race. Someone's in the pits swapping parts off of their buggy, helping somebody else out, making it possible to get back to the race no matter what you break. So
yeah, I think they're getting word on the radio. He didn't cross the finish line in the right order, so they're going to try to steer him around so he can still get an official
he's
time.
He's got to go from there. He goes.
There we go. He did not.
I like that American flag he's got
not.
on there.
1:62 something. So a little bit longer time.
We had a little static there. We'll get a repeat on his time. Man, it looks like he was not satisfied with that run.
Yes.
He wants to do it right.
You know what? Why not? Get out there, have some
He's
fun with it.
getting a little extra seat time.
He is. I was just thinking, get a little extra seat time in today.
If you came all the way and you want to race.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
And you're a cute kid, too. No one's going to kick you off the
Yeah,
course.
yeah. I like that there's like every dad there, plus half the track officials are all like coaxing everybody around the corners, and it's pretty cute.
All right. Is he coming back around? All right. I think he's
All
done.
right.
Taylor, could you get a repeat on his dime for us, please? I know Brantley's probably got some family that would like to know that.
Yeah. Gatlin Wills on the line.
All right, Brantley had a 162.385, and Gatlin Wills is ready to tear up the course. Gatlin has raced with us every event so far. She did some racing last year as well in the Mid-America Series.
And had a blast with it. Again, her dad, Justin Wills, races a big bouncer with us. It's pink and purple. It's pretty hard to miss. I think they're going to wrap this eventually, pink and purple. That way it'll match her father.
Has to blend in as part of the fleet.
Yes. Again, she has a pink and purple race suit on order, from what I understand. So, pink and purple is their family pride colors. They rep them strong. So Justin has his PRP seat wrapped in pink. So that's kind of cool. You can see him down there in the corner, cheering on his daughter, with all the other dads helping direct everybody to the right direction, and she's pretty ornery as well.
Goes. Pretty quick run.
Good job, Gatlin.
57.501. She just pushed one of the Detmer girls. So Anna J. Detmer still has the fastest time with a 49. Then Abigail Detmer with a 50. And
Gatlin Wills, I think, came in third there.
It looks like Gatlin just moved into third with her 57.5.
By a tenth of a second.
Yep, Carly had a 57.6.
Wow.
Some tight racing going on here in the youth class.
It is. This is Dallas Holback, or Heckley. You can see that Heckley wrap looks just like her dad's big buggy.
Yeah, looking sharp out there. Daniel Heckley raced with us in the UTV stock class yesterday, and he will be racing bouncer today as well. That's him down there hiding behind the Radflow banner.
Again, his daughters are super cute. Very, very tiny little girls down there in their little matching blue race
They're
suits.
So cute.
Again, you can. It's so funny. Some of our smaller racers, you can literally see a head bouncing around by the steering wheel level. I'm like, how, you can barely see over the steering wheel. It's so cute.
I think this might be Dallas's second race only. I know she raced at Wildcat, I believe. .727, not bad. All right, I think Clara Hoback is going to wrap up round one of the youth class today. If you missed us talking about it earlier, the Hobacks are the stars of the current Highway to the Hill episode. So Nick and Dylan have been joining them for the couple days leading up to the race weekend. And then getting some of that behind-the-scenes look at what it's like, what a race weekend is like for the Hoback family. Justin Hoback raced the stock UTV class yesterday, came in third place in the four-seater.
In the four-seater.
That's right, Big Bertha for the doing work out there. And then we've got Clara out there right now. Colton Hoback raced yesterday as well. First time we'd seen him out on the race course in a while in his new RS1. And then Tinsley Hoback, Clara's cousin, was in our youth class this morning.
It was so great yesterday in the drivers' meeting. They were talking to Justin. They said, "Where's the other holeback?" And Justin kind of started laughing. He said, "I was always, it was always, Colton and the other holeback, me, Justin."
They swapped positions.
He said it was kind of funny to, see it the other way around. I said, I want to make a shirt up for, that says holeback racing, Justin and the other brother,
and the other one.
Just wear it on Colton.
Yeah, Colton was like, "When did I become the other holeback?"
It was pretty funny. They're both super nice guys. They were out there.
Yeah, they help out a lot around here. They have for years. 6'3.392. Well done, Clara. And I do believe that is going to wrap up. Oh, no. Who's on the starting line?
Clara Hoback?
I think that the kiddos are going to be going back to the pits now, getting parked and out of the way, and then we'll be going to UTV Bounty. So we will be right back after this.
The Mickey Thompson Premium Mud Terrain is on the road and full of undisputed attitude. The Baja Boss MT. No compromises, ever. We are purpose-built tires for truck and Jeep enthusiasts everywhere. All mud tires are not created equal, and here's the proof. Powerfly XD construction, asymmetrical tread design, extreme side biters, and more. Find your tire size today at MickeyThompsonTires.com.
What you want? No matter where your ride takes you. Whether it's a quick trip or a slow climb. When you choose RCV Performance Axles, you're guaranteed to finish every time.
And we're back, and we'll run through our UTV side-by-side youth class real quick. Anna Detmer was a 49. Abby was same in second. Gatlin Wills came in third. That's your podium. And then Carly Detmer came in fourth. Eva Coons came in fifth. Dallas Heckley came in sixth. Brody Pierman came in seventh. Clara Hoback came in eighth. Ava Gardner came in ninth. Brantley Havens came in 10th, and Tinsley Hoback came in 11th. Again, we had 11 youth class today. That is awesome. It was so great to see that youth class coming out here having a good time. And again, it's absolutely, if you've ever been to one of our races and watch it, it's so cute. It's like going to a Little League game and watching the guys run the bases. Sometimes they're not going in the right directions. It's so cute because, again, they're doing it just.
I do have a cute story about Clara Hoback that her mom told me. So Haley is her mom, Justin's wife, and was riding with Clara. Getting a little seat time somewhere recently, and they were going along somewhere that had some like a watery kind of gully, and they were trying to stay on the edges and stay out of the mud.
Yeah.
And apparently Clara just kind of started going down into the water, and Haley had to grab the steering wheel and pull it back. She's like, "What are you doing?" She's like, "Oh, sorry, the butterfly distracted me."
I believe it. I believe it.
So then we were joking with Clara that we're going to get like a fishing pole with a little plastic butterfly and hang it off the front.
That's
so just
funny.
follow the butterfly.
Yes.
But it's pretty cute.
And that is typical. That's, something that's a very comical story you could have, I'm sure you could hear with our youth class. Like, "Oh, got distracted, Dad."
Sorry, the butterfly distracted me.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Well, we are getting ready to move into our UTV Bounty class. That was just course one for youth. As always, we'll have two rounds for all the classes here. So we've got about a dozen drivers signed up for Bounty, and then we've got a good bouncer class as well. And then, as always, we'll have our two RC classes at the end of the day. We've got a nice crowd of spectators here at Hot Springs Off-Road Park. You guys are watching Hillside Live. Thanks for joining us here today. Matt and I are enjoying the sunshine.
Well, amazingly, yes.
I'm about to be able to take my jacket off, which hasn't happened in a few days at least, so that'll be nice. We've got some faces out here we haven't seen in a while. We've got some buggies out here I haven't seen in a while. Did you see old Agnes over there?
I did.
Been a hot minute since we've had Agnes out here from
the Texas boys
and Kryptonite Customs group. Glad to see those guys back out here. We've got a couple other
I got some cool facts coming up with that buggy, too.
Oh, really?
Some stuff that probably nobody else knows.
Oh.
I told him I'd wait
You guys get the inside scoop.
I told him I'd wait till he got up here to.
All right.
Uh,
If you weren't watching yesterday, then I think this is a good opportunity for a couple reminders. Don't want you to miss any of the details here with Rock Racing TV. Zach Garner is hopefully going to be doing some finish line interviews for us today, just like we did yesterday. We had the drivers come pull up after their run, and then Zach just get a couple quick questions in with them. So just a little something to give you another behind-the-scenes view, what the drivers are feeling like when they come right off the race course.
Yes.
So we'll see about bringing those guys to you again today. And then I announced yesterday our Skinny Pedal Award winners. That is our new award for this season. It all started in Texas at our season opener. Jay Stortz had a wild run, and it got me thinking,
Yes.
got us all talking
Very
about
wild run.
doing an award for just the wildest run of the weekend. Jonathan Shepard with Skinny Pedal Fab stepped up and said he would sponsor that. So it is now officially the Skinny Pedal Award. And we got a little behind with announcing our winners
Yes.
because we were putting a new polling system up on the website and trying to sort that out and have a good process for the season. So our winner of the Skinny Pedal Award from our opener in Texas was Jay Stortz, as it should be.
Yep.
He was the one that got
Yeah.
came up with the idea anyway. And then our winner from Windrock was John Hammett. He had a
Very
really
wild
run in the Hitman buggy.
Yes.
A little bit of a tumble.
Yeah.
A lot of bit of a
Yes,
tumble
a lot, yeah.
down the hill.
Cartwheeled, kind of.
So, congrats to those guys. They probably would rather not have won the
Yes.
Skinny Pedal Award.
Yes. Yes.
But hey, if you're not going to get on the podium, at least that means that you did something.
Yeah.
You got a trophy anyway.
Yeah, you got a trophy.
You got something out of it. And I think, unless something super crazy happens today, I think Brandon Davis yesterday probably got himself
Yeah.
the Skinny Pedal. Now, anything
I
can
agree.
happen. We have a whole day of racing still. But if you missed it yesterday, you'll have to go back and watch. But Brandon had this whole, front somersault coming off the race
Yeah.
line ramp, landed it, and still went through the finish line. It was pretty wild.
Very wild.
We
Very
had a
wild.
couple wild runs, so we'll see what happens today. But currently, voting is open from our Wildcat race, which was 2 weekends ago?
Yeah.
And you can go to the website, and there's a short video you can watch. The voting options for that are Daniel Callahan, Tyler Young, and Johnny Gibbs. Those were what we narrowed down our
Yeah.
wild runs from Wildcat. So you can go watch a short video, kind of remember what they
Yeah.
did and see what they did during the race, and then just click on the name and cast your vote. And then, you know what?
Yeah.
Today's Saturday.
It is. I was thinking that when you were saying
I'm
that.
wrong. It
Last
closed
night,
last
yeah.
night. If you didn't vote already, you're late. You're too late.
And I have to say, now that voting has ended,
Yeah.
I think Jonathan Gibbs was what I would have voted for. That's my guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
I
had
think I would have voted for
he had
Daniel.
kind of the
I think
wildest
did
ride,
vote
I
for
think.
Daniel.
Yeah, he
Going
had
on there.
landed on the side. I mean, just
They
style
all
points.
did.
Style
Yeah.
points. I think he had the
Daniel
most.
rolled and landed it and kept going.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
they all had a good run, but so I'd misspoke. Voting is closed for that. I got used to say
Yeah.
I said all that yesterday. So, but yeah, so that was our current poll, and then once this weekend is over, of course, we'll have a new short compilation video of the handful of drivers in the running, and you guys will be able to go vote for them as well. So shout out again, and a huge thank you to Jonathan Shepard and the Skinny Pedal Fab folks for sponsoring that award, and just to add a little something fun to the season.
Yeah, it's a good time.
For the drivers that, wow, it might be a little disappointing if you cartwheeled down a hill
Yeah.
or whatever, but hey, there's a silver
And
lining.
again,
You might get the Skinny Pedal Award.
Now you get a trophy too. Like I said yesterday,
Now you get a trophy,
I didn't know you get a
cash.
trophy initially. I'm like, that's awesome.
Yeah,
You know,
Jonathan told me he made some, so I don't know what they look like yet.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's cool.
I'm sure they are cool. Again, like I said, we're getting ready to kick off UTV Bounty Series here shortly. Again, the Bounty Series drivers race the same course as the Big Bouncers, so it is a super challenge for those guys to get up. I know a couple of them were down here pre-running last night, hitting the hills. Again, in our series, you do allow pre-running. So, seen a few of them down here pre-running last night, and that was super awesome to watch them come out and hit the hill. A lot of them were kind of feeling out initially. Again, we did see a couple of the side-by-sides, kind of back up and really go for it and land on Showtime Hill. So that gave, I think, a lot of the bouncers a little more comfortable level. So interesting to see those guys play. And before we went to dinner, we get to watch a couple of them. I don't think there's any big bouncers that hit Showtime. Justin Wills did come down, and here's his bouncer and hit Hill 1 just to see how it felt, kind of ran the course. And there was a lot of racers, bouncer drivers down here watching him as he went through the course several times on course 1, the second half. There are a couple options, so a couple guys watched him come down through the options on the first course. Again, you'll see a couple drivers. There is a lot steeper path, but it's more of a straight shot to the finish line versus coming down an easier path that maybe a little bit longer, may add a second or two. So we'll be interested to see how that goes. And I think our Radflow suspension section here I think is going to get a little more streamlined as the day goes on. So I think we'll see that smooth out. They did dig some more holes from our course yesterday to today. They about doubled that Radflow section. So and again our big jump. We'll see how many guys come out and hit that race line ramp.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting. I know Brandon Davis had a little trouble yesterday. He said he was a little sore this morning. So
it was a little bit of a hard lick. I think his back end slapping down on it is probably what hurt the most.
I'm sure it
I
did.
guess. And then he slapped down and it catapulted him right over again.
Cased it pretty hard.
Yeah, you guys will have to go back and watch that from yesterday if you missed it. I want to know who out there has been here before. We're at Hot Springs ORV, previously known as Superlift.
Yep.
Back in the day, last time we raced here. And then, of course, Showtime Hill is kind of the well-known fixture here at the park as far as racing. And we will be on Showtime today. It's the Yukon Wall. So who's been out here before and watched any racing and watched any racing in general when we used to have series races here or, specifically on Showtime Hill? Which, isn't it crazy how time and technology
and the buggy
changes
levels,
something that used to be like undoable and now it's a regular part of the race course.
And it was just crazy to see, like I said, we came back for that charity event last fall and we saw side-by-side after side-by-side whiz right up it. And Clyde was like, like 8 years ago we were here and Timmy's the only guy to climb it and people were terrified of this.
Yeah.
And now we're watching like full bodies just zoom right up it. So it was like, it's kind of insane to see how far the buggies have advanced since then, and driver skill as well.
Yeah, definitely.
So I'll say it looks like we got our first side-by-side driver on the starting line there.
Now, we had a lot of late entries in this class, and I'm not sure. Basically, they had to just work it out between themselves. Our late entries almost always go first. It's a choice of whichever driver drew first, and they can have the late entries. They can choose to have the late entries go first if they want, which is usually the case. So we've got Clay Kaysen out on the course. He's going to show us what our UTV Bounty class will be climbing today. And, of course, the Bounty class
get up there. Come on.
Always runs the same hill that the big bouncers will be on. So we step it up a notch and bring the difficulty up a level for the UTV Bounty class for sure. This is the Mickey Thompson mountainside here that we're racing on. We're all over this hillside, weaving in and out. The drivers really have to pay attention up there. Looks like Clay is not having any trouble.
Again, he raced with us yesterday, so he kind of feels this backside of the course. The second half is very similar to some of the courses they raced yesterday, so again, right here coming down in this downhill section, that's where they have some options. There's tape about 60 feet wide, and they have 4 or 5 exits they can take.
Nice. .365. Clay Kaysen starting off the UTV Bounty class, hill number 1 here today. If you're just joining us, we wrapped up our UTV youth class, hill number 1. Now Clay just started off the Bounty class for us, and then we will have bouncers after this.
Getting our next buggy lined up in the starting gate here. Again, the finish line yesterday was on more of the where all the race buggies are parked at. Today, because the big bouncers are going to be coming in so much faster, they went ahead and moved it to the opposite side where the hill is at, so that way it's a little safer when they're exiting through the finish line.
Zach's got his sassy pants on today. Matt and I got a little distracted. But Cody Kaysen is out on the course now.
Come on, get up there.
In the full body.
Go, baby, go.
This hill looks pretty big on camera. And, y'all, it's so much bigger in person. So much steeper, and it's long. Wow, I'm turning around and looking at it right now.
Yes.
Matt,
Yes.
it's no joke over here.
People don't realize how steep this hill and how loose. Again, we talked about that shell rock. It's again, the surface of it is just, once you get on it, you start putting power to it. You can see a lot of these guys. I think we're going to see even more with the big bouncers. Guys who are just hammering down on the throttle and really not climbing as fast as they're used to because they're not going to be able to get as much traction as they're used to. So I think we're going to see that a lot more with the big bouncers. So
the rocks around here, it's like chunky, loose gravel.
It is.
Like from golf ball to baseball size gravel. It's treacherous.
It
You'll
is.
about twist your ankle walking through the campground. And
Ooh.
whoa, coming in
Wow.
sideways. .223 for Cody. Coming in hot on the finish line there. Speaking of chunky gravel, I had a little bit of a issue with that.
Yeah, you want to tell us about that, Bree?
Man,
How was your night last night,
so
Bree?
I like driving things with four wheels on them. Me and any kind of dirt bike don't have a good history. Really, it's only ever been one previous to last night. The Hobacks had this little electric pit bike, and we thought it might be good for getting around, and going back and forth from the trailer.
I've seen a lot of them. It makes sense.
Yeah, we're going to go to a quick driver interview with Cody, though. Then I'll finish my story.
That's awesome. You got any sponsors you want to thank, or any fans, or anybody who got you here? No?
I'd like to thank my mom and dad and my papa.
Thank you. Good job.
All right, that's
Back to y'all.
Yeah, I thought it'd be a good idea to try the pit bike and at least practice a little bit. Might be good for getting around. Made the mistake of going up a hill because it was right across from the RV. It seemed like a good idea. And I had to turn around at the top because there was people camped up there I didn't know about. I couldn't go around like I planned on. Dude, golf ball size gravel downhill on a pit bike.
Not good.
That I have no experience with.
This is DC Thompson flowing through that Radflow suspension section in his brand new chassis. He just unveiled at Wildcat the last race.
Oh, man. Yeah, look how loose that is.
Again, he stretched it about 4 inches, I believe. He said it makes it a little bit more stable. He said hill climbs are a little bit easier. He said it feels a little more comfortable in it. He said the old bike, when he came up and hit stuff, it kind of popped the front end up. He said this doesn't do that as much. He also made...
Uh-oh.
Oh, man. He also blew a belt during qualifying or coming out doing a little practice running. Blew a belt yesterday morning. Had to go and fix it before the driver's meeting. So...
Speaking of bikes and dirt bikes, fun fact about DC, he's apparently an amazing BMX bike rider.
That's what Clyde says.
Yeah, he I guess used to do a lot of it and was really good at it. I want to see DC come out and do a halftime show on a bike for us.
Yeah. Ooh.
64.817 for DC. Clay's got the fastest time with a 60 still. Yeah, needless to say, I'm not getting on a pit bike.
Yeah,
again.
so you know no
not.
life as a stuntman? Is that you're saying that's a hard no?
I do 4 wheels from now on.
And a cage? A cage?
What I'm most ticked about is I put a hole in my Patagonia good jacket.
Yeah, I was going to say, where's your jacket at?
There's a hole in my jeans
The brand
now.
new jacket?
And there were 20 people up there, too, that I'm sure saw it all. It was probably really entertaining.
The whole rest of the night, they're like, isn't that the girl from the live show? The whole rest of the night.
Probably, yeah.
Did she just wipe out on a pit bike? Well.
Oh, she did.
She did.
She did.
She did.
And my knee is
your
it.
knee looks pretty brutal.
Luckily,
I'm not gonna lie.
Haley Hoback, who I'm staying
Yes.
with, used to be a nurse.
Yes.
So I was like, Haley, come help me.
Yeah. You have
The best part of it was I have a really bad I pass out easily if I get hurt. So I was sitting on the floor of the RV trying not to pass out while
Good
trying to
times.
rinse off my knee and everything.
Which when you first said you wrecked it, I was like, oh, it's okay. And then you pulled your pants up and you could see blood oozing from the bandage, and I was like, oh my God, what did you do?
It was ridiculous.
And then you just like a little kid,
I'm too old for that kind of stuff.
like a little kid, you're like, got a boo-boo. Like, your coat's all ripped. I was like, oh, my gosh.
I know. I'm so mad about my coat. That was the worst part of it.
Like,
my knee will get better,
yeah,
but my coat.
Not so much.
I'm sad.
Brand new Patagonia jacket. Like, who needs a brand new Patagonia jacket?
No more pit. Yeah, that was supposed to last me like 10 years.
Yeah. Now it's a farm coat.
It's ridiculous.
Now you can feed the horses with it, and you don't feel so bad,
No more pit bikes. They're evil. And this gravel.
Yes.
This gravel is evil.
Yes. I wish I had a picture of you, like, riding a wheelie right before you crash, Yeah.
There was no wheelie. There was just me trying to turn around at the top of a gravelly
Just
hill.
wipe out.
And I'm used to four-wheelers where I can grab the handlebars, and I tried to just manhandle the pit bike and grab it. You can't do that.
You really can't. You can't.
No.
Yeah.
Last time I drove a dirt bike, it was a KTM that was way too big for me.
Yeah.
It was for someone that was 6'5", so I could, like, barely touch.
Yeah.
Whiskey throttled the crap out of it, wheelied it
Really?
into a tree. I fell off. The plastic broke on it. It was this whole thing. So.
Wow.
Yep.
How,
I'm sticking to four
similar,
wheels.
Similar situation.
A much smaller bike yesterday,
Yes.
but yeah, not a good outcome.
And sign language, this means same. So she had a similar situation, same situation. Mm-hmm. So we're like 2 for 2. The last 2 times you've ridden bikes, you're 2 for 2. So you're like, what, I'm done.
We don't need to
be
the last time.
We don't need a third strike, is what you're saying.
Look, I tried. I gave it a try. I was willing to give it a chance. I'm done. All right, Chase Conley is out on the course now. Chase raced with us yesterday in the Unlimited class.
Oh, again.
Uh-oh.
Did his front end moving? I see a really cool dust cloud coming from the back.
It's not going to be cool once it floats over here to our table.
Yeah. Okay. The front is pulling. He just, again, it's very loose up there. People don't realize how loose this rock is.
Taylor, thank you. Yeah, that makes me feel a little better. I know I'm not the first to wipe out on a pit bike. I know Clyde had quite the experience with one.
Yeah.
Coming down a hill one time, and he hasn't touched it again.
Yeah. Yes, he said something about that last night at dinner. He said, yeah, that happened. And he goes, I have it. It's in the corner of the shop like a bad child. He said, we haven't ridden it since.
At least he didn't have an audience.
That's true. Chase getting up the top there.
There he goes.
Okay, again, I think it shows how loose some of that gravel is on top of the course there. Again, taking his time coming down. Again, going up that, that's kind of still a loose dirt section there. And it's such off camber. I think that's what, Bree, sun's out, guns out there, huh?
Yeah, well, there's not much for guns here right now, but yeah, arms out.
Sure. Wow, you've got a little Band-Aid on your elbow there. Oh, man.
No. Oh, he's
the
cross-eyed
tie rod
now.
has left the chat. I don't know if coming down that, right there might be the safest bet, right where he's at. Because if he goes to the left or the right, it's pretty steep straight down. I don't know if I'd want to do that with a broken tie rod. Dang it. That stinks.
He's on the trail still. I wonder if he can't just roll it forward. We will let our excellent recovery crew handle that. Shout out to those guys for always being here and helping us keep things safe, keep things moving with recovery. We've got a great crew of volunteers, kind of a core group of volunteers. You guys hear us talk about Bill Blaisdell a lot, Jack Porter, the Hobacks, and then we often will have people from the park as well jump in and help wherever we go.
I know the park does have a handful of volunteers out here. They'll have orange vests on, running around helping us out.
Yeah, so shout out to the Hot Springs ORV group.
Man, that stinks.
Greg, yes, Trent is racing in bouncer class. Jerry Gray is not here today, not on the list. All right.
Tyler Bradley on the line. Can he race with us yesterday as well? He's been battling hard this season. Come on, get up there. There you go. And again, you can see how steep that rock section is by how high these guys are going airborne. And you have to get above it to land on that loose stuff and then just kind of hammer down. Again, you'll see that probably more significantly with the big bouncers. A lot of the side-by-sides have such a great power-to-weight ratio. They're able to kind of launch up there. Again, we watched Justin Wills yesterday kind of rock it out for a while, and he was playing on it.
Uh-oh. Oh, no.
Man.
So, one thing that you might notice if you've never been able to come to a race in person, especially, and we hope to be able to make it out someday,
Yes.
but when you see multiple vehicles having trouble, even though that spot might not really look that difficult or not that steep or whatever, trust us, it is.
And again, right there, you can see to the left of the screen, you can see him. You have to come down that side and then turn, come right. So it's a deep, pretty decent steep on both sides. So you're kind of bouncing back and forth after you're coming down one hill, trying to make a right-hand turn. So it's not real, it's kind of off camber in two different directions. So it's not the funnest, easiest thing to do.
It's a tricky spot.
It is, yeah.
That is a very deep, gully, I guess, or
And again,
a
with
little
big
valley there, but on the hillside.
with the big bouncers, you got some of these guys are running up to a 46-inch tall tire. So a 46-inch tall tire, you really aren't going to have as much problems with.
I don't predict this being too difficult
Yes.
for the bouncers, and because they have a wider stance too,
Must say,
especially than the single seat.
But when you're running
UTV.
a 22 or a 24-inch tall tire, a little different ball game there.
Yeah. There's Colton Hoback, Justin in the four-seater. I saw Jack Porter up there.
I love that our recovery side by side is what also took third yesterday in the stock class.
Oh yeah, hey, it is a vehicle of many
Yes.
talents, many abilities. Big Bertha has there.
Yes.
Yeah,
Daisy Bynum.
They were over here a minute ago, next to the trailer.
Daisy Bynum.
CJ and Daisy over here.
Yeah. Helping get some stuff directed.
Clyde's son and granddaughter. Maybe we'll be seeing Daisy in the youth class in a couple years.
I have no doubt. Yeah. Yeah.
I could see it happening.
So it looks like we got Madison
Is this
King.
Madison? I see some white and
I see
pink.
the white and pink on there. I know we have several Kings racing this weekend with us. She was down here as well yesterday, hitting the courses, course 1 and course 2. I think it was her dad was down here, and they were talking about the game plan for tomorrow, picking some lines, and they had tried a couple different ones on the hill behind us, the Showtime Hill. So it was very inspiring to watch them down here hitting it and hitting in different ways to see what's going to be the best for the side-by-side. So kind of cool to watch.
Tim Bacon's watching. What's up, Tim?
What's up, Tim? Is that Big Tim or Little Tim
Chris
watching?
West, Kelly. Thanks for joining us, everybody.
We miss the Bacon family. They're kind of staples of the off-road community. I know they're all rebuilding chassis and making adjustments. And
I know they have lots of family activities going on, too. I see Rebecca is posting about the kiddos are big into basketball and all kinds of stuff.
I think
That's a
Clyde
tough
says
spot.
it broke, maybe? Did Clyde say that she broke something? Ooh. No, I guess not.
There it is. Come on.
Yeah. I thought I heard Clyde say something about maybe broke on that. Maybe a front tire wasn't pulling or something.
It looked when she landed, but I think it was fine.
Yeah. Again, when you're landing that hard, kind of wide open throttle, anything's possible. I know that obviously the side-by-side parts, diff, axle shafts have upgraded, got to the point where they're almost indestructible, but occasionally we see one break.
Indestructible might be a strong word.
Almost. I said almost indestructible.
We've definitely seen some destruction
Yeah.
out here.
Yeah,
That's part of racing.
I said almost. We've seen
Yes.
guys, obviously beef up stuff to the point where it's, it's almost as strong as a half-ton pickup truck, But again, when you're
Speaking
pushing,
of pickup trucks, we had a fun time watching the VIN class again yesterday.
there we go through the finish line.
.414. That's not a bad time, and she had a backup in there too. So well done, Madison. We've enjoyed having the King family racing with us this season. Glad to have some new faces out here for this weekend, but also just for the season overall. We've had several new drivers,
and a whole family who races. That's awesome. Again, talking about families that race. We're talking about the Bacons. They were Big Tim, his wife, were at Mama Bacon. Were at the Wildcat race with us, or Windrock. So it was great to talk to them at Windrock. It was a lot of fun.
Oh, were they?
They were. I got to talk to them in the crowd and
went
up,
I
gave him a big hug, gave him a hard time about Tim, and like one of the first races I ever raced my buggy at. Little Tim was telling. Teasing.
Better be careful giving them a hard time. They'll give it to you right back.
Little Tim was giving Big Tim a hard time about having a trail rig because it used to be a trail before he was a bouncer.
All right, is this Alston Tidwell? All right, it is. Speaking of new drivers, Alston raced with us yesterday as well in the Unlimited class. This is his first SRRS race. He's raced before with Outlaw, he said, but this is his first with us. So
again, driving
glad
up,
to have him out here.
And you can kind of see how straight up and down it is right there. I think. Come on, get up there. And again, in the kind of the good old days, as I like to call them, you used to see a lot of guys back before it was a super hardcore race. You would see guys pull up and kind of roll up into it and see, kind of feel it out maybe once or twice. Again, anybody who's ever watched a lot of Timmy's old videos, he liked to, when he was out playing, he'd roll up into it 3 or 4 times, and then finally back up and just nail it one time and make sure you had the placement of everything correct and
get your line worked out.
Yeah, and again, it worked very well for.
You can't do that in race mode, though.
No, you cannot. But it was great.
That's where pre-running does come in handy for the drivers that are here and want to do that.
It was
get a feel for the hills before you get out on them during the race.
I said it was great to see him kind of get up, make sure his line's set, and then hammer down, land it, and take off. So that worked out well.
That spot he just came up is another area that's very off camber and pulls the drivers downhill. You could see down to the right, and Dan Carter actually tipped over on that hillside yesterday.
And that's kind of where you're going uphill, but you're leaning at an angle. So
it's another tough spot that's not necessarily that obvious on camera if you're not looking for it. 98.884 for Alston.
All right.
And I think we have it. There we go. We've got an interview. Let's go to Zach.
All right, we got a 98.484 Alston Tidwell here. How'd you feel today? You did good yesterday, learning, getting your sea legs. You looked strong. You hit the little soft, double step this one over here. How'd you feel?
Today, it was a good course today. Really like the speed of the course. You got to kind of stay in it a lot. We did better than yesterday. Remembered where we were on the track today.
That helped. Well, man, we look forward to seeing y'all on Hill 2. I know you got laid down time. You're definitely in the top 4 or 5. I can't keep up with it right now. But good luck on Hill 2, and we'll see you then. Back to y'all.
So Alston did have a little trouble yesterday with making a wrong turn, which is very understandable on a long course like this, especially first time out here racing that kind of course. So glad to see him getting a good, strong run today. This is the UTV Bounty class you guys are watching. We're at Hot Springs Off-Road Park. This is the Southern Series race number 1, our 4th race overall for the season. And after this weekend, we're going to have a long break. We won't have any more series races until Visions at Mid-America in July. That'll be one of our that'll count towards as a central race.
I'm thankful for.
So I know a lot of the Rock Racing TV media crew is happy for a bit of a break.
Yeah. Yes.
I don't know. I kind of feel like I might have to go find another event. Go to AOP or something.
Don't worry.
AOP is nice and close to me.
Yeah.
So.
We'll find one for you if you want.
Yeah, I'm going to need something.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we'll be back in the August, September, and October to finish up the season with 5 races spread out. So you guys can go to nationalrockracing.com and find our calendar of events for the rest of the season. Hopefully you could make it out to one in person. Chris West says Nathan King and his old chassis is making him jealous. Maybe we'll see him out here soon. All right, is this is Clint Strain leaving the Holly starting line over the race line ramp.
Airing it out there.
Oh, getting a little rowdy.
A little squirrely.
Right out the gate through that Radflow suspension section.
Come on. Oh!
Oh, my
Reverse!
goodness.
Reverse! Oh, man. Back up.
Wait.
Oh.
He's in the creek bed.
He landed back on his wheels, and I for sure thought he was going to be able to power that out.
Well, you know what? The good thing is he just got himself in the running for a skinny pedal award.
Yeah.
Very convenient of him to land at the bottom of the hill.
I see Colton Holback down there and D-Pat from D-Pat's Photography. Dylan, handful of the track officials. And again, it's actually really nice with a side-by-side. It's pretty easy to flip back over especially if you got 8 or 9 guys.
There it goes. Able to drive on out of there. I don't think there's any damage done.
No.
Hope we'll see him back for round 2 and be able to get him a finish for the bounty class today. Clint did race with us yesterday in the unlimited class. Another one of our new drivers this weekend.
Yeah. Has sharp chassis. I like the tube work on it. Again, you hate to see a guy roll over, but luckily it was at the bottom of a hill, essentially, not at the top of the hill.
And it didn't do it. It wasn't one that did any damage.
Yes.
So we like to see that so everyone can keep going.
I hear you. Got Dan the Man Carter on the line.
Oh,
That
Dan.
Rock Life Off-Road group there, helping him out.
I got to give a shout-out to Jody Powell as well. Dan's, I'm going to say, better half.
Better half.
She makes some really cool hats and flannels. I went and shopped in their trailer last night. You guys probably see Dan
Come on, get up there.
wearing some fun trucker hats out here a lot. I think he might even have one on his picture there. I can't tell. So y'all hit up Jody Powell with Threads to Die for all kinds of fun.
She does. She always has
fun
cool hats and stuff.
Looking flannels and all kinds of stuff.
Again, Dan's one of our seasoned drivers as well. He races, I think, every class of side-by-side other than
Dan
youth.
is a busy man.
Other than
on
youth.
race
And he races several different chassis as well.
Yep, he's got the full body for stock class.
Running that number 3 for that old Goodrich Dale Earnhardt wrap there.
For bounty class, and then he has another chassis for the unlimited class that he ran yesterday. Looking good so far, Dan, coming down that CA Tech cliffside, picking his line there.
Come on, get there. Get her done. Ooh.
67.147. The fastest time right now is Clay Kaysen still with a 60. Man, Clay came out the gate first driver for this round of UTV Bounty, and he set the bar real high at a 60. Let's go to Zach and see what Dan has to say.
Dan, I think it was a 67.147. You looked good. You hesitated a little bit and lost some momentum on your jump right here, but you totally redeemed yourself coming through the valley. How'd you feel?
That hill's changed a lot since yesterday, but we were able to get it pinned down and make it work for us. So hopefully we'll be able to come in a little bit hotter on hill 2 and make up the time difference.
I pretty much am going to credit that run to Rock Life because it handled all that. And Rock Life Off-Road, huge sponsor in Dan's world and a great sponsor to the off-road community. They're up there by the food truck if y'all want to go hit them. We appreciate it. We're going to see Dan on Hill 2. Back to y'all.
Thank you, sir.
Got you, brother. Hey, good job.
All right. Thanks, Zach. I hope you guys are enjoying the finish line interviews that we started new for this weekend, and we'll our plan to continue for
Yes.
the rest of the season. Another little sneak peek into what's going on in the drivers' minds as they're coming right off the course.
And it was interesting to hear how Dan said that course has changed so much since yesterday.
Yeah.
You know, essentially we've only had side-by-sides and a few VIN-class guys on there. So, you know, it's interesting to see how much that course has changed, even with just side-by-sides running through it. Once the bouncers get out there, I think it's really going to change the
Be
course.
a whole different story. Cooper Bentley on the line now.
Yeah.
Cooper had a little trouble yesterday. He rolled over coming.
He did.
He kind of did what Brandon did.
Kinda, yeah.
That race line ramp gave the drivers a little trouble yesterday. If you didn't hit it just right, it bucked the back end up, and so Cooper did. What did he break? I forget what he said. Shock?
Yeah, something. They were working on it quite a ways down there. And
Yeah.
again, we talked a little bit about this last night at dinner, and a couple guys coming to a couple campfires. Coming out of the starting gate, the very first time you hit that race line ramp, you had tons of momentum going into it. But the second time they came around, they were coming off the
coming
hill.
down the hill and having to turn.
So they really didn't have enough power.
Yep.
But, you know, I think it was Cody Kaysen was the first guy to hit it, and he didn't land squared up. He didn't really do the best. But after he, kind of came out there and hit that double jump, everybody else said, well, he did it, so I kind of have to do it now. I talked to Timmy, and Timmy kind of said, well, he did it, so I kind of knew I had to. And Timmy said it did not go well.
No, there really was not. Even Timmy didn't quite make it, and
he did not.
out on
he
the
did
second
not. And we saw
landing.
that rear end kick, and it kind of donkey kicked up, and it was. I was a little weary when they were launching through there.
There it is, right there, the race line ramp. It's a lot easier coming out of that Holly starting line than when they had to come down the hill yesterday.
Come on, get up there, Cooper.
We're glad to see Cooper with everything back in one piece.
Again, carrying that front wheel halfway up the hill. Kind of awesome to watch.
Zooming down there. We hadn't gotten a view from the top of the hill like that yet, I don't think. Helps put it into perspective a little bit. Man, Cooper's coming back with a vengeance. He wants to get that finish in for today. Down that CA Tech cliff.
Right there, there's several options of where you can come down at, so I think we'll see some drivers take some different lines today, seeing which is faster. Ooh,
6'1", 4.62. That's a second place time right now. Right behind Clay Kaysen's 60.3. All right, let's go to Zach.
All right, Cooper Bentley here with a 61.462. If I'm not mistaken, I think that beats out DC's second place and puts him right behind one of them Kaysen brothers. What did you think about the hill? You took the left side, had a lot of power, slowed that climb. Did you think that hurt you? Without that, a little faster to the right, I think you'd have been sitting in first.
Yeah, I think I should have hit a little bit harder, get a little bit more momentum. It slowed me down in that powder.
I agree, and we're going to take what you learned. You're looking at him on Hill 2. It's going to be a tight race. There's only, I think, a 3-second gap between you and first, so we're excited to see it. Cooper Bentley, y'all, have a good one.
Oh, much less than a 3-second gap, a 1-second gap there between Clay Kaysen and Cooper Bentley now. And then, let's see, DC Thompson looks like has the third place time currently. This is round 1 for the UTV Bounty class. You guys are watching Hillside Live at Hot Springs Off-Road Park. Thanks for joining us. We're enjoying a beautiful sunny day and excited to be back here at Hot Springs for our first series race in 8 years out here in Arkansas.
I think this is Nathan Keene sitting in the line there. There it is, Nathan King. That 0-1 wrap, you can't. And the best part was he was hitting the horns as he was blazing through the finish line yesterday. So I thought that was super awesome. Like, what better time to hit those horns? Like, that's just good times.
Oh, and he took the conservative route for the race line ramp.
Again, I think, making sure you're lined up right for that first big hill, I think was far more important to him yesterday.
Mm-hmm. You can see that he swung far left to cut across the Radflow section there and again, get lined up for the hill.
And again, like I said, him and Madison came down yesterday and played a little bit on both hills, but after watching, Clint roll down, it's, I think that's something you definitely would be smart about. And again, if the guy in front of you all of a sudden just wipes out, you might be the next driver usually is a little gun shy. I know I've before. I remember went to Hawk Pride one year, and I watched 30 guys in a row make this course a piece of cake, and I was super excited. I'm like, I'm going to smoke this course. The guy in front of me, John Campbell, comes up and catches a side lip and rolls right over. And I was like, oh, man, oh, no. It's not easy as it looks, just because I know what John Campbell's such a great racer. He's here today, going to run the Taz buggy. Can't wait to watch him in that turbo Taz buggy. Again, Nathan taking his time coming down this course, being smart about it. Again, right here, you can see a whole bunch of flags right there. You have the option of which route you want to take. I don't think that was the right one, though.
73.290.
Okay, he did go between the trees.
It was an optical illusion.
Yes.
All right, let's go to Zach and see what Nathan has to say.
73.290, Nathan King laying it down. Looked real good. He had some serpentine motion going up the big hill. You took the shortcut coming back out through the narrows. How'd you feel about it, and what are your predictions for the next hill?
I felt really good about it. I kind of wish I could have jumped that first jump, but I didn't have good luck with it yesterday, so I played it safe. Hopefully next round I can really send it and go up some spots.
All right, it'll be separating the men from the boys and the girls from the boys, because your sister's also running. I think you edged her out a little bit. All right, hey, hit that horn for me before you go. All right, Nathan King, back to y'all.
That's awesome. Again, you got to love that horn. That with the wrap, I think anytime you see him jumping through the air, you kind of have to envision Dukes Hazzard. Got Joshua Ullman on the line here. Can also seeing Josh take that smoother line over the race line ramps there. Again, I think that might be the smarter bet. Some of those guys had trouble yesterday casing it. Oh, come on.
Oh, so Josh joined us as a seasoned driver this year. Glad to have him on the list with us. His hobbies that he gave to us includes full sins and trail riding.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And some sponsors he'd like to thank is N4 Performance, Missouri Motors, Ride Epic, Super ATV, MRT Tires, Brewington Wire Systems, Kryptonite Products, Sandcraft, RCR, Hill Strategies, LLC, Sticker Geek Graphics, and Raceline Wheels. He is from Missouri. Dutzow. Dutzow? I've never seen that name before.
I concur.
Missouri. Oh, no!
Stink.
The Valley claimed another.
Yeah, Tyler Bradley, that same area with Tyler Bradley.
That is a tough spot.
Man, that stinks. Again, looks like Colton Holback running up there.
Colton's getting his steps in today.
He is. Yeah,
hustling up that hill.
If you would have come down and get some steps in, rock bouncing, we'll put a little vest on you, and you'll get all kinds of steps in.
If you want to add a little more cardio to your life, just
come
volunteer with us.
Rock Racing TV is always looking for new ways to help out in the course. So.
Get in like a deadlift action or chest press, rolling the buggies back over.
Yeah.
Running up and down hills, a little cardio. We'll get you in shape.
All right, and we're going to go to commercial while they get Josh flipped back over, and we'll be back right after these messages.
What you want? No matter where your ride takes you. Whether it's a quick trip or a slow climb. When you choose RCV Performance Axles, you're guaranteed to finish every time.
Hell Yeah Racing, trying to get past the big noise of the big buggies. He finished us off with an unfortunate turnover in the ravine. Tell us what happened.
I just lost power steering coming down that hill on the backside and couldn't keep her under control.
Hey, man, you need the steering every time you try to turn. But it's okay. You got Hill 2 for redemption. We're going to only send that baby straight out to Hell Yeah. Y'all have a good one. Back to y'all, Bree.
All right, there you have it with Josh Allman. And Matt is going to,
We're going to run
down the results for us.
Run through our top 10 here.
Hill 1 for UTV Bounty.
All right. We're going to run through our top 8, I should say. We had 5 DNFs, so we're going to run through our top 8. First place was Clay Kaysen with a 60.37. Second was Cooper Bentley. Third was DC Thompson with that new chassis. Dan Carter just squeaked out behind that podium spot. Cody Kaysen coming in 5th. Nathan King coming in 6th, just beating Madison King coming in 7th. Alson Tidwell coming in 8th. And then after that, we had Clint Strain was a DNF. Joshua Ultima was a DNF. Tyler Bradley was a DNF. And then Chase Conley was a DNF. So we had 4 DNFs on that course. I get a couple guys rolling up top, a couple guys rolling up down below. Had a little bit of squirreliness going on. Again, the second course I think is going to be even more ornery. It's the one that's going to happen directly behind me and Bree. But we still have bouncers to go on the first course. So you can hear them all getting fired up down here. The trailer's starting to shake, the rumble, and the crowd starts pressing in a little harder. So again, some of our cameramen are getting repositioned to a much safer spot. I told Clyde we need to put like a big plexiglass window behind us today. So as some of these guys corner, it could be a little more violent later on this afternoon. So we're pretty excited. Again, I think the bouncers are going to have a lot of fun. Watching some of the side-by-sides that first course, I don't think we're going to have too many problems with the big bouncers. But, again, this is a race. I told Clyde one day we could go down a cone and come back. At the end of the day, we'd have like 4 bouncers would roll over, 3 guys would be broken, somebody would have broken a tire. Just being when you add the fact it's a race in there, everything becomes so much more heightened. Both the intensity of your racing plus and how hard you're pushing the race. So it's a lot of fun. Like I said, I think the bouncers are going to be a good time. They're getting all the bouncers lined up down there.
Colby Reich, what's up? He says he's on duty today, but wish he was here.
I know, Miss Colby. He's been killing it this year. His 8-up buggy. I love the wrap on his buggy.
Brian says thanks for the live feed. Nice to be sitting at home watching on the TV.
Yeah.
Well, we wish that everybody could be out here live watching, but we know that's not always a possibility. So we are glad to have Hillside Live and for you guys to be able to enjoy it in the comforts of your home or at work. I know a lot of you guys like to watch while you're at work sometimes.
Got the Sucker Punch buggy sitting in the starting gate.
All right. We are moving into the Brannick Motorsports Bouncer Cup. Trent Ratcliffe, unfortunately for him, being a late entry, has to go first.
Yes. Which, luckily...
I don't think he was excited about it.
Yeah.
But, it is what it is.
And luckily, with, having the side-by-side bounty guys go in front of you, they can still kind of get a good feel. You can kind of get a good feel of the track, watch them, watch the line.
So to reiterate, our UTV Bounty does run the same course as the big bouncers. That's what sets our bounty class apart from the unlimited regular UTV Cup class. We step it up a notch for those guys. So you're going to see the bouncers running the same course that our UTV Bounty class just ran. We've got, let's see. Looks like about a dozen bouncer drivers today. Got some fun names on this list. It's going to be a good time. You guys know we're going to be hitting Showtime Hill today too. The old school Showtime.
Oh, yeah.
Today it's Yukon Wall.
Yes.
Got to stay current with the times.
The OG
but
name.
You, if you've ever been here or watched the videos from years ago, will recognize it as Showtime Hill.
If you're
doing a safety check there, Justin Hoback on the starting line, checking the wrist restraints that all drivers are required to have, either that or window nets. Make sure nothing comes out of the buggy accidentally in case of any accidents or rollovers. All drivers have a 5-point harness, full face helmet, Hans device, fire suits.
Yes.
Fire extinguishers inside and outside the buggy. Fire suppression systems are recommended for this year and will be required next season. There's all kinds of stuff.
Is.
We've always got someone doing a check on the starting line just as a double layer of safety.
Again, coming out. Again, he's going to creep over these
up and over
race
the race
line
line ramps.
Again, come around, get lined up, make sure you're feeling good.
Up that SCS step up, looking
Come on.
good. Come on, Trent.
Get up there.
Trent in that sucker punch buggy. Speaking of racing years ago,
Yeah.
you guys might recognize that from when LC used to race it. It was featured in the Women in Wheeling calendar.
Oh, really?
4x4 Nation calendar. Oh, yeah. I remember I have a picture of me sitting in it for the calendar.
What was the original name
Back
of it?
in
Rooster?
the day.
Rooster Buggy?
I think it was Sucker Punch when LC had it, but possibly?
Yeah.
I don't know. Who's on the internet that knows the answer to that? Somebody out there does. You guys always have answers.
Yeah. Talking about safety gear. We were talking last night about what it was like 8 or 9 years ago racing. And I said I remember seeing a video of Tim Cameron in a pair of pants, T-shirt, and an open face kind of brain bucket helmet,
gosh, yeah.
backing up and hitting hills that are just as sketchy as the stuff we hit now.
Yep.
And again, T-shirt, pair of blue jeans, tennis shoes, and just an open face.
And then when the
brain
foam
bucket
neck
helmet
roll things came along, and we thought that was good protection.
That was safe. Yeah.
I am so glad that we have
Yes.
all, along with the technology of the vehicles and the, I don't know, the hardcore aspect of the racing. I'm glad that the safety aspect has absolutely stepped up and kept up as it should. Trent Radcliffe through the finish line.
105.234.
All right, Trent was our first bouncer of the day here at Hot Springs Off-Road Park. Let's go to Zach and see what Trent has to say about that run.
Zach, coming to you. 1, 2, 3, go.
All right, I got Trent Ratcliffe here laying down a 105.231 for a first race right here. He's still ironing out some stuff. Hey, I'm not doing what y'all think I'm doing. Anyway, I killed the power. Man, how'd you feel about the hill?
That was scary. I ain't even gonna lie.
Okay, he's scared, folks. That's funny. All right, man.
I mean, it was fun, dude. After I got past that first jump, it was wide open. It was so fun.
Okay, you go practice that and come back and tell us later. We'll see you on hill 2. Great job setting that bar way up there, brother. Yeah, I got you right here.
Damn, am I getting this blowjob?
Yeah. Yep. You're welcome.
All right, and that was our very first bouncer driver coming through. Ended up with a 105 time. That was Trent Radcliffe and Sucker Punch.
I think this is Trent's fourth time racing the
it's a fairly new buggy.
racing the big bouncer. Trent started racing with us in the UTV class, so it's a big difference stepping up to a bouncer. It takes a little seat time. So glad to see Trent out here racing with us. Glad to see Sucker Punch still out on the race course.
So this is the Agnes buggy.
Yeah, speaking of buggies we haven't seen in a while.
Agnes buggy, it was built by Chris Branton. And this buggy was built by Ryan Webb and Aaron Sheldon. They built this buggy together at Kryptonite Customs. It was the Agnes buggy originally. Last year, they took it all apart, rebuilt it, built a new chassis for it, used all the same parts, and now they call it Karen with a new chassis. However, Aaron said, no, there's enough parts there. We're still going to call it the Agnes buggy because there's way more Agnes buggy than there is Karen. So
you can't mess with Agnes.
So he said, make sure you call it Agnes today because there's more Agnes parts than there is Karen parts. So you call it Agnes. Aaron's running those 46 UHD stickies on there. Aaron,
Chris.
The breaking news. You heard it here first.
Oh.
Aaron actually sold it to Chris a few weeks ago. Chris bought it. Chris is part of the USD Sticky family, part of the Kryptonite Custom guys. They also have a couple. They have a 4600 car, a 4800 car, and a 4400 car. They race with the a couple side by sides. Oh, come on, Chris!
Nice save. We didn't need that flag.
And so
good save from Chris.
So Aaron said it's staying in the family. He's part of our crew. It's not going anywhere. He said, but it did get a new owner. Aaron and Ryan are both here this weekend cheering it on. We got to hang out last night with those guys for a little while. Come on, get up that hill.
Agnes sounds nasty.
It is awesome.
It's just reverberating around this valley.
They have a 6-liter engine, LS, that has a larger supercharger on it. So I think they run a 3.4 liter supercharger on it, Magnuson. So, or Whipple, I believe, Whipple supercharger. Again, tons of power. They run a 2.5 ton. They run 2.5 ton Rockwell axles. And again, most of the parts are similar, other than the 2.5 ton Rockwells, to a lot of other bouncers out there. They've always gone with that iconic green color. So, and then obviously they run the 46 USD stickies because that's their tire. So they're good naturally going to run those.
Agnes has a very recognizable silhouette.
Yes,
as well.
It does. That huge kind of tail section. It's very unique. And
yeah, we haven't seen the Kryptonite Customs family out here in a while. Super glad to have them back out racing with us.
Their last race was Windrock last year. So, again, like I said, they have a couple Ultra 4 cars. They've been doing some Ultra 4 racing as well. So their shop right now looks like a race car factory practically.
Sure.
So
162.464 for Chris. And we're going to go to Zach.
All right, we got Ryan Bell representing Karen all the way out from Texas, right? Agnes. We still Agnes in it? It says Karen. Anyway, I saw these Big Meat Larry Hoover USD stickies digging, changed the heel for everybody. All the drivers are looking at it going, what the heck do I do now? How'd you feel?
Well, it's the first time that I've ever driven it, and so it's just, totally different from what I'm used to driving, and so I'm trying to get my feel back, but it feels good.
Oh, yeah, you know it, brother. Well, like I said, we love seeing it. It sounded mean, looked mean. Great save down here. Hats off to you. Came back and totally redeemed yourself. We're ready for Hill 2. You get that way too, brother. Back to y'all.
Again, that's the Agnes buggy coming out of Louisiana. Shreveport, Louisiana is where those guys are from.
And y'all heard it. This was his first time racing Agnes, and he had an awesome save out there. Could have been a potential rollover, but he was able to drive out of it. So well done to Chris.
Again, he also owns a 4400 car, so he gets plenty of seat. He said
this is a little different than what he's used to.
He gets
I believe it.
Plenty of seat time in a race car, just an off-road race car, just a little different style than what he's used to. Probably a lot heavier than a 46 or a 4400 car. So again, like I said, he's done hammers, so gets out, has a good time, and now he's joining the rock bouncing community. So we love to see that. Again, we got Brandon Davis sitting on the starting line. Down there with Menace.
Menace is looking mean. Look at that stance.
I'm interested to see, and again, those big...
It's like a spider, like it's ready to pounce.
Yeah, those big 46-inch tires went before him. Definitely moved a whole lot off of the hill. Removed a lot of material off of there, like Zach was talking about. So we'll see. I think we're going to see more and more of that. But again, you could hear that high horsepower motor just singing, and he wasn't really going that fast on the hill as far as physically, but the tires were,
the
motor,
wheel speed.
Yeah, wheel speed was, singing through. The motor was cranking. So it was definitely awesome to hear that and see it. And again, it's so funny to hear, that motor ripping through it without the vehicle actually moving that fast. Just shows how hard that course really is.
All right, Brandon, another driver that stays super busy on race weekends. He races both the UTV stock and unlimited classes, as well as now the bouncer. Man, just floating through that rad flow suspension section. Menace definitely has the suspension.
Yeah. I think he actually clicked a second right there. Right after he landed, I think you could hear him click a second. Again, we're talking about that wheel speed, kind of get that wheel speed as high as they can to get up the rest of that hill. Coming down through that valley, again, you can see him kind of bouncing back and forth. With the having a much bigger tire diameter, it helps you be a little more stable, a little wider chassis, a little longer chassis than some of the side-by-side guys have problems too there. Yeah, his buggy is absolutely just a beautiful sound when he's ripping through there. Again, you can see it kind of fishtailing as he climbs that hill to show how off camber that
I'm
is.
not going to lie, Menace is one of my favorites out here.
It is pretty awesome. I would drive it. That's all I'm saying. You know, like if he was sick, you know, or couldn't make a race, I'd drive it for him. You know, I mean, I would still drive the hyperactive buggy, but
nice.
You know, wow.
66.935 from Brandon Davis. What a run. Looks like we've got him pulling over for a finish line interview. All right, let's go to Zach.
All right, I'm here with Brandon Davis laying down a 66.135, coming out like a wild man, dude. You got a little kick on the back, recovered quick, went straight up the hill. Man, it looks real good. How'd you feel?
Yeah, everything felt great except for that jump. I overshot it for sure, and then you're landing in moguls. It's hard to gather it up, but everything worked out for a good run, I feel like.
Dude, you have absolutely put the pressure on Daniel Heckley fighting for that third place spot. So we'll see how he handles it. And, man, congratulations. Get ready for Hill 2. Can't wait to see you again, brother. Back to y'all.
All right, and there we again. That was Brandon Davis and that Manic Chassis. Jack Porter on the line with that Venom buggy, the all-new Venom buggy. Went through and made some upgrades this offseason. I also saw he posted some pictures of some panels he made, which were like 50% functional, 50% stylish.
This is our first time seeing Venom out here this season.
Yes. Yeah. Again, his goal with the panels was to help keep him away from the electronics and help keep the electronics away from him. So, again, he made some really sharp-looking aluminum panels in there. Again, a lot of our buggies nowadays are not just functional, but they have some style points as well. Jack, again, also last year kind of cut the whole top half of the buggy off and redid it. Rechanged some suspension leaks. Made it a lot more stable, lowered it quite a bit, so it was a lot more competitive, I believe.
So we saw Jack race at Bridgeport.
Get up there. Come on, Jack.
In Danny Smith's buggy, but it's fun to see Venom back out here.
It is.
For the season. First time since finals.
Come on, Jack.
Last year.
That's a little sketchy.
Whoa, Jack. Whoa.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
Y'all, we don't call it a Jack attack on this hill for nothing.
When you're in that seat, all you can do is just drive out of that. Come on, get up there. Wow. No. Wow. And again, once you start coming down a hill like that and you're hooked on, you really just have to keep on keeping the throttle and keep coming down. Again, clipping those trees does suck, but it also helps keep you upright. And you can see the buggy was starting to tip pretty good. So huge ups to Jack Porter for being able to keep that buggy on all four tires and keep it going. Again, coming down that little gauntlet there. You can see how unstable it is right there. Why, again, these buggies are a lot wider, a lot longer, and have much bigger tire diameter than the side-by-side. So you can see why a side-by-side have trouble there. And again, you can see him kind of throw it to that right side as he's trying to head through those trails. And those trails are pretty tight up there. I went and walked them. And again, there's not much room for error on some of those trails up through that forest section. Again, taking his time as he's coming down, making sure he's picking his right line. Again, there's several options there for dropping down. And out the finish line he goes.
Nicely done. .227 for Jack.
Heck yeah. Jack attack.
Steve Howell just showed up by the trailer.
Jack attack strikes again.
Got a little excitement there at the finish line for our finish line interview. Chris Britton, quick on the scene with the can of Fire-Aid over there. All right, let's go to Zach and Jack.
All right, I'm here with Jack Porter. We got the fires out and we got him back down the hill. That's a completed run in the books. He did some crazy stuff over here. Absolutely mowed down some trees, opened it up, had a good time. He got a 118, some change. Who cares about that? Did you have fun?
Yep, that wasn't what I wanted to do, but that's what I got.
All right, he's a heck of a speaker, guys. We're just not going to make him do it right now. Venom Racing, y'all follow him. He always puts on a show, guaranteed. Y'all give it up, Jack Porter. Woo! So far, Skinny Pedal
Jack
Award.
just loves
It might not run again. It's okay.
It's his favorite thing to do. His time was a 118.227.
Adam Kuntz, he was on Facebook earlier this week asking if anybody had a shaft, and he posted a picture, and his was in about 4 pieces.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. So he must have found a shaft. I talked to him. I said, "You find a shaft?" He said, "Yeah. The only downside is we only have about 1 inch, 1.5 inches of engagement into the spline."
Oh.
So he is a little bit worried. Again, you want to have, several inches, 2-3 inches in there. So
Adam is racing in Randall Key's spot this weekend.
come on, get up there.
We saw Adam's daughter Eva race in the youth class as well this morning. Speaking of Randall Key, looking forward to having him back out here this season, hopefully sooner rather than later. I know he was at Wildcat spectating and hanging out, didn't have his buggy done yet, so.
Yeah, it was good to see Randall.
It was good seeing him there.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll see him back out on the race hills soon.
And he had a new buggy getting built, but he said it wasn't back all 100% done, so he's putting all his old buggy back together until he can get the new buggy done.
That's a lot. That's
It
a lot
is.
of
It is.
finagling parts and
Bouncing back and forth there. There he goes. Adam
quick
getting through the
run
finish
from
line.
Adam Coots.
Wow.
66.077. That is your new leader right now for the Brannick Motorsports Bouncer Cup. This is Hill 1. Let's go to Zach.
All right, we got Adam Coots laying down a 66.077 quick time, looking real good. Adam was out here for the Bounty competition we did last year, played on the hills a little bit, got it in his blood, came out here and laid down a really good time. How'd you feel?
It felt good finally. Everything held up, didn't hit no trees, no rocks, and the jump went good. So.
Well, good news for all the fans, right? Buggy's going to be here for Hill 2, getting ready to lay it down again. And so far, he's one of the better times of the day. So good luck to you, brother.
Thank you.
Back to y'all.
All right, so that's Adam Coots racing for Randall Key and Randall's spot. And just got a little confused about what's going on with the Riot Buggy and Randall's name on there.
Again, this is Daniel Heckler sitting on the line. Again, he is in a fierce competitor. The last 2 races he's been at, he's finished 3rd place, so it's great to see him on the podium.
Daniel has really stepped up his game this season. I know this TC buggy, he's looking pretty comfortable in it. He's been doing some work this season and definitely taking that competition up another notch. We've got several drivers that are just pushing hard and keeping things really tight. Remember, this is our 4th race overall so far for the season. We're going to have a pretty long break between now and our next series race. It won't be until July at the Visions event in Mid-America. That's going to count as one of our Central Series races. Oh, nice and smooth off that race line ramp through the, Taylor, Radflow suspension section.
Come on, get up there.
Give him heck, Lee.
Oh, that is a lot of power, and I don't think he's going to make it on that first try.
A lot of dirt coming off
It
that
is.
hill.
Man, that stinks. I'm sure he's frustrated now. Man, now he's out there.
Old Hellbent doing work. Daniel would like to thank Dee's Tree Service, Duval's Diesel, Fritz Transmission, and Custom Differential for helping him out. And his other hobbies when he's not racing include some hunting, deer and turkeys.
I believe
So
that.
there you go, a little fun fact for you.
Ooh, getting a little squirrely. Coming down, landed in three-wheel motion.
.692. He was hauling.
He was. He was trying to make up for that lost time.
All right, we got Zach. Zach hustling over for a finish line interview. Let's go to them.
All right, we got an 81.692, Daniel Heckley and Hellbent. We saw that he had a little trouble on his one shot in the bottom hill and the big hill. I know he's extremely frustrated right now. Him and Brandon are in a neck-and-neck race for third place, and he's going to need a lot of luck on hill 2, but it ain't saying it can't be done. Still one of the better times, bro. Relax, you got it. How you feel?
I'm just aggravated. Messed up at the bottom. I tried to make up time, had to back up again, but I hope run 2 I can make up for it. I really aggravated right now.
Hey, just take a breath. You're still a great racer. We love seeing you and can't wait to see hill 2. Makes it even better for the fans. Back to y'all, guys.
Oh, and you can tell the frustration there. Like Zach said, Daniel and Brandon have been battling so far this season for that third place spot in points. And when you're pushing that hard, the disappointment is that much sharper when you feel like you could have done better. But that was still a heck of a run from Daniel.
And again, really frustrating.
A Heckley of a run from
Heckley.
Daniel.
Again, we got Kenneth Cozine sitting on the line with Karma. Again, his normal buggy, Bad Donkey, is still under repairs. So he had to work on Karma buggy, get it put back together this week. Put a transmission literally like on the way here. He said, so we've got everything back together.
Kenneth has had a rough time of it the last couple races.
And when he was talking about getting it all put, when he was talking about getting it all put together, I thought he was talking about Bad Donkey.
Is this good karma or bad karma?
And at the end, he paused. He goes, "Oh, that's Karma." And I was like, "Oh, okay, yeah, okay, not your buggy. Okay, cool." So he, heck of a guy, helped get it all put back together. Had a good time. So. Again, I think he's going to make a pretty quick time today. This buggy handles pretty well, being an IFS.
You gotta hand it to him for. I mean, he's been working, busting his butt to get the vehicles ready and get everything back together and continue to be out here. So
trying to keep one buggy together is hard enough.
As many drivers often do. Like everyone's been there before, not so. But yeah, he's definitely had a time of it the last few races.
Again, this is a brand new transmission. They just got put back in there. Come on, get up there. His chassis is pretty light relatively compared to some of the other buggies. I think he's like, 2,800, 2,600, somewhere in there. Where compared to the Agnes buggy, who's, 5,800, that's, a several thousand-pound difference. So it'll be interesting to see how his chassis and buggy handle versus
Agnes is a big girl.
Agnes is a big girl. Again, 2.5-ton axles and 46-inch tires. They weigh a lot. A lot. So big buggy, big chassis.
There's a view straight down the hill there. It could kind of give you an idea just how steep it is and what it looks like for the drivers when they crest that hill and are looking down. The Mickey Thompson mountainside that we're racing on this weekend is it's no joke.
Yeah.
It's real tall and real steep.
Yes.
Coming down that CA Tech cliff section there, making it look easy.
To the finish line he goes.
74.612.
Wow.
What is that, a third place time right now, I believe? Our leader is Adam Coots right now with a 66.0, then Brandon Davis with a 66.9, now Kenneth Cozine with a 74. Let's go to Zach.
7.4.612, like a 7.4. Kenneth, man, you look really good. I know this ain't your buggy of choice, but it's the one you got to run today. You look like you made a really good pass. How did it feel?
Man, it's a little rough in this thing, but I'm starting to get the hang of it. I'm trying to figure out the rear steer. I'm doing the best that I can, so hopefully we can lay down another good pass.
All right, man. Well, like I said, we're pulling for you while you're doing this one, and I can't wait till you're one bad donkey again. But until then, we'll see you on Hill 2. Best of luck, brother. Back to y'all.
Gotta
All
say,
right.
I love me some rear steer, but
Heck
when
yeah.
when it's unfamiliar to you,
Yes.
and you're trying to get the hang of it on the
Yeah.
fly, that's not easy.
And not just rear steer, but an entirely different buggy.
Of course, yeah. So
That weighs half of what your buggy weighs. So it's
you gotta appreciate what Kenneth is doing out here.
It is. Again, we got Jay Storch in Ford Play. I always try to be very careful about the pronunciation there. Obviously, that was a very great play on words. Jay Storch in his Ford Play buggy. It's about 9 months old. He unveiled this at, I think, at Visions last year. Shortly after that, he put a motor in it. So
Matt Taylor. All right, Jay Storts.
airing it out there.
Nice.
Come on, Jay, get up there. Come on.
Jay raced in the UTV stock class yesterday as well. He had a heck of a second run.
Heck of a second run.
His first, he broke a tie rod, but came back strong with a really great second run in the stock class. I think we'll see him just continue to get more comfortable in that class this season.
And as he gets more seat time in this buggy, I think he'll get more comfortable with it. Again, you can hear that engine once he lands on top of that rock ledge, just ripping up that hill. So much fun to watch these guys. Hear that horsepower sing through the hollers down here.
Through the hollers. We're not in Kentucky, Matt. If you guys want to learn some more about Jay, he was the star of a Highway to the Hill episode.
Yeah.
A couple episodes. You can find that on Rock Racing TV and get
Through
to
the finish line.
know a little more about him and his background. Taylor.
78.492. He had a 78.492. Got Zach over there with Jay. We're gonna hear what he has to say.
Laying down a 78.493. Everything was really clean. Everything was really fast. You had to two-time this hill at the bottom here. I know you're mad about that. Would you go too far left, or what happened?
Yeah, I just missed my line. I had it in second gear. Probably should have pulled back down to first to hit it, but I'm learning.
Hey, you got it. Hey, that's a completed track. That's a win in Jay Stort's book. We got one more to go, so you're halfway there. Best of luck to you, and can't wait to see you on the next one, brother. Back to y'all.
All right, I think we've got about 5 drivers left. This is Brannick Motorsports Bouncer Cup, Hill number 1. We've already had our UTV Youth class and our UTV Bounty classes Hill 1 today. Oh, I see somebody familiar on the starting line there. Our Holly starting line, Mr. Tim Cameron.
And he is out the
Let's
gate.
see how he hits that race line ramp. Nice and smooth.
Yeah, a little squirrely, but obviously coming through that. Come on. Again, Mr. One Shot taking care of it. Again, wasted no time getting up there.
We've already seen the TC built buggies Menace and Hellbent on this hill. TC and Tyrant, his new build for this season. Let's see how he handles
And
it.
yeah, it's exactly. I want to see him this gauntlet coming down through there. Also, I'll be interested to see what downhill line he picks. See if he thinks there's an advantage to one side or the other.
Since we're racing here at Hot Springs ORV today, it only seems fitting as we watch Timmy to mention Showtime Hill and, of course, how it got its name. How many years ago was that, Matt? Do you know?
I don't know. A while. There we go. Screaming through the finish line.
Whoa,
Wow.
57.148. Tim Cameron, clearly Hot Springs ORV, it treats him well. We're racing on the legendary Showtime Hill later. I don't remember what year it was that Timmy climbed that in Showtime.
Yeah, a while ago.
And he is showing out today as well. Let's go to Zach and Timmy and see what Timmy's got to say.
All right, we got Timmy Cameron here laying down a 5.7.148. If I'm not mistaken, that puts him in first place on Hill 1. But I have to say, Timmy, you caught a tree with the back tire. You came down a little sideways. Going up there, you made a correction when you were making the left turn on the climb. It was fast, but it was sloppier than you usually are. How'd you feel?
You know, the run felt good, but I will say I had a couple bobbles. The back tire hung a tree on the uphill and on the other downhill, but hey, you know, that's part of it. You know, these guys are fast. We're all trying to push and be as best we can, and we'll just I believe the buggy's good to go for round 2, so we'll just see what's got to go for that.
Hey, I love it. I think you made a correction on all the mistakes that you made. You made just as good of a correction, and you still came out with the leading time of the day. Congratulations, and I can't wait for Hill 2, brother. Back to y'all.
All right, that was Tim Cameron. He is your new fastest time for the day. Again, we have a handful of guys that still have to run, so we'll see. We'll see. There's a couple guys I think out there that could knock him down a little bit.
Well,
we'll see how that rolls out.
And one of those guys is Wade Good. He drew spot number 13. When you draw number 13, you get the option of going first, last, or staying at number 13 spot. Wade said, what place is Timmy going in the driver's meeting? And he said, all right, I'll go last.
Yeah, it's smart.
So Wade
smart.
just saw what Timmy did, and Wade and Timmy are tied in points right
Really?
now at this point in the season.
Wow.
Wade is winning by combined times
Yes.
currently by 1.047 seconds. And
Wow.
we are 4 races in to the
Yeah.
well, that would be for the last 3 races
Yeah.
of the season. This is race number 4. So Wade and Timmy tied for points.
That's crazy. Again,
It's
this
going to
is
be interesting to see how things shake out. And Justin Wheels on the course now. Justin's definitely one to watch too.
He is. He is absolutely having no problem putting it down this season. Came in 4th a handful of times last year. Couldn't quite break that top 3. So that's one of his goals this season, is to be on the podium. Again, like I said, he came in 4th a handful of times last year.
And Justin was our rookie of the year
Absolutely,
last
yeah.
year. So that just this is his second
Yes.
season, and he's coming out and just putting in the work, laying down the times. His daughter Gatlin racing in the youth class as well. So it's a whole family affair now.
Again, we're going to see what kind of run he can make here. Again, he was out practicing last night, had hit course 1, kind of come up with a game plan to see how fast he can push it today. He was out playing last night in the hills a little bit.
Coming down that CA Tech cliffside. Straight
Come on,
on to the finish
go baby,
line.
go! Hear that motor scream! Woo! Wow!
63.057. I believe that's a second place
That
time
is.
right
That
now.
is a second place time.
Let's go see what he has to say.
6.3.057. It was fast. You looked good. You one-shotted everything. You pedaled it a little bit on the uphill. Great job. Man, how'd it feel?
Felt great, man. This is fun right here. This is fun.
You come all the way from North Carolina. You didn't come for second, baby. You laid it down. Hey, good job. Good job. Back to y'all.
Again, that was Justin Wills there in his buggy. He, again, came in sitting second currently right behind Tim Cameron. But I know we still have a few drivers that are going to try to change that. So Wade Good still has to come yet, and I think we've got 3 buggies left, I'm hearing. So,
Oh, who's our third, Taylor? We got John
Campbell.
Campbell. He's racing for Scott Goforth today. Good to see John back out here. Been a little while since we've had Taz Buggy out on the hills. Oh, a little bit of a donkey kick off that race line ramp.
Come on, John. Again, John was down here watching everybody play last night, kind of figure out a game plan. Has a turbo buggy. You can hear that turbo spooling off as he's climbing. Again, he's had this chassis for a while. Again, he's been around off-road racing for quite a while. His dad had monster trucks, so he was...
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's been around off-road community for quite a while. Again, trying to make quick work through there. I think his last race was Dirty Turtle with us last year. He ended up, came up, landed real hard, broke a drive shaft. Drive shaft came around and swung and busted up his fuel cell. It did quite a bit of damage.
You know, he raced at Visions last year.
Wow.
And 63.748 now
Wow.
for John.
That puts him in third spot.
Let's go to Zach and see what John's got to say.
63.748. Been a while since you've been out here competing with us. Love to see you race. You did a great job. Laid it down. You're definitely in the top few. Great. How'd it feel?
Oh, I need to go faster.
Need to go faster. That's all he said, folks. He wants to thank everybody out there, especially his beautiful wife, Audrey. We'll see you in a little bit. Round 2, he's going to be a force to be reckoned with. Back to y'all.
Again, running that Taz buggy. Like I said, John Campbell's raced for a while. He used to run the Tetanus buggy before that. It was a Jimmy Smith chassis. He had a really bad rollover a few years ago at Busted Knuckle Off-Road Park.
Well, I started to say he raced at Visions last summer and had kind of a scary crash during the knockout race as well. So glad to see him back out here.
Okay, this is Wade Good got on the line.
All right, Wade's going to wrap it up for our Brannick Motorsports Bouncer Cup course number 1. Wade and Timmy tied in points right now for the season. Wade getting them in combined times by 1.047 seconds so far. We're for the past 3 races. We're on race number 4 for the season right now.
Wade's moving.
All right, Wade needs to beat Timmy's 57.1 if he wants that top spot currently.
Again, with this, because there's so many uphills and downhills, I think everybody's going to try to be fast going uphill.
Wow, he is tearing down, I'm going to call that the Vision RV Valley.
Whoever can go the fastest on the downhill section, I think, will truly win this course today. Because, again, everybody's going to push really hard going uphill. Oh, he had to pause for a second.
Oh, man, what's it going to
be? Wow.
What?
Ooh.
Wait, I couldn't hear it.
57.354, which puts him.
I thought he said 374.
Yes,
well, we're going to get a confirmation on that. We couldn't hear when Wade came around behind the trailer.
57.
57.374 for Wade. Wow, so close. Let's go to Zach.
All right, here we got Wade Goo with the finale, 57.374. I think that's the fastest time on this hill today. Throwing him in first place. Man, that was super cool. You come through here so smooth, so fast, very few mistakes. Your downhill is a little slower than normal, but you still finish strong. How'd you feel? And you're sitting in first. How does it make you feel?
It felt good. Yeah, I was a little slow in downhill. It's still a long season, so I'm trying to keep it together and finish every hill. Had a backup over there, but stayed in it and turned out good.
Even with a backup, you still threw down a smoking fastest of the time on hill 1. We'll see how it plays out, brother, and good luck in hill 2. Back to y'all.
All right, we're going to cut to commercial. We'll be back right after these messages. Your unofficial rundown of the first course of the Big Bouncers.
Second.
Rebirthed from the depths of Baja, Mickey Thompson Tires announces a new American mud terrain legend. The new Baja Legend MTZ. Silica reinforced T4 tread compound. Powerply 3-ply construction. Improved 4-pitch side biters. Proven MTZ tread styling for undisputed traction. 35 different sizes, and one is just waiting for your rig. The Baja Legend MTZ.
And we're back. All right. These are your first course unofficial times.
And we do want to be sure to
yes.
correct.
Zach
Zach was saying that Wade had the fastest time, but
yes, he did not. Tim Cameron ended up squeaking him by 0.2 of a second. Tim Cameron came in with a 57.15 something.
57.148.
Okay, and then Wade Good came in with a 57.37. So again, knocking Wade down to second. Zach was saving his first. Again, 0.1 of a second difference there. Justin Wills squeaking in that third place spot. Again, that's your podium unofficial for the first course. Fourth place will be John Campbell with his turbo buggy. Adam Kuntz being able to squeak in that's their top 5. Brandon Davis 6th, Ian Cody 7th, Jay Stewart 8th, Daniel Heckley 9th. Trent Radcliffe 10th, Jack Porter in the Venom buggy after his wild ride came in 11th. Chris Branton in the Agnes buggy coming in 12th, and then I'll go and give a valiant attempt at the course.
Well, Matt, why don't you explain to everybody why you're not racing today?
The buggy's up
so
on the trailer, so I went to go back it off, hit the starter button, and something clunked really loud, didn't sound right, got out of there. And one other time I had something similar happen, so I had to start turning the motor over by hand, and it got to a stopping point. I figured I had an ejector stick open one other time and filled the cylinder full of fluid. Hopped out, pulled the spark plug out, and bumped it over by manually, and saw tons of gasoline shoot out. Was super thankful that I saved the engine. Unfortunately, when I went to hit the button, I left the fuel pump off, went to hit the button just to clean all the fuel out, and broke a rod. Apparently, it was already broken. The rod came down, and punched a hole through the oil pan. So we're going to even attempt of pull the pan, pull the cylinder out, unplug the injector, and still run it on 7 cylinders.
I'm just going to say,
with a pan,
I've seen Bobby Tanner race with a hole in his motor before.
Well, I don't think mine would keep being that there's a hole in the panel, the fluid coming out. Trust me, we were thinking.
I just so everybody knows why you're not racing.
We were trying. Justin Wills is going to let me attempt the course on his buggy, so I'm still going to get some points.
Okay.
So a huge shout out to Justin Wills, but rather than run on the live feed, we'll crack that open after our little lunch break, and we're going to kick back off at 12:30.
12:30. We'll be back for round 2 of all 3 classes.
All right. Thank you guys. We'll see you in a little bit.